With the Kraken running loose, you could use a bodyguard.
Aw, you're sweet.
The monster could be lurking around any corner.
I'd fight it for you.
Chelsea?
So what is it that you get inspired about when you pick content that you choose?
For me, it's always where's the juicy center? And that's usually around the family relationship. And after The Croods, which was a father-daughter story, the opportunity for this to tell a mother-daughter story was very important. Especially a mother-daughter and a grandmother story. And, we used to joke, remember, on The Croods, which was like, usually in animation, you're lucky if you get one female character, because usually the moms are, we had multiple generations there as well. And so this was an opportunity to really focus the story and tell a story of Ruby Gillman, who is the first female title lead in DreamWorks history. So being able to have the opportunity to do both of those was just too great.
I loved the fact that, one of my favorite parts, and I don't want to give it away or whatever, but her mother says, I did this all for you. I love you. And it was such a moment where she was talking about how she was serving her family. And obviously I'm a mom. So can you talk about, why you wanted to add that in and why that was an important theme?
It's like she was keeping her from something. And so you got to scrutinize her motives. And the truth is that she had her heart in the right place in every frame of the film. She's just trying to protect her daughter from a life that could be dangerous. But she also was protecting her from a secret that she was holding from her. And there's no time that as a parent that anyone calls you up and tells you, this is the opportunity, tell your son or daughter right now, this part of nobody knows. So, and I feel like that was the weight that Agatha was living under, Toni Collette's character. And she kind of feels the remorse of that. Like, how did I wait so long? Why did I wait so long? And you can't beat yourself up because there's no perfect time.
Yeah.
But when there is the time, the way through is communication and being open.
Yeah, it kind of is a take on like parenthood, right? It's a real take on it, right? Because she's like, well, maybe I should have done it. And she opens up to her husband about like, should I have talked to her earlier? And, we do that, right? And so watching it, it's like, yeah, that's life, right? As a parent, you think about those kind of things. So, with your wife as, obviously who comes alongside you on these projects, what is she, how's her input when you're doing these kind of things?
Well, I'm very lucky because we have my kids are 10-year-old, my 10-year-old boy-girl twins are, they were born during Croods, so they've seen, this. And so the opportunity for me to tell stories that are about family in a way that's also exciting adventure for the kids. And I think that's the secret. What I try to do is like, you want to sort of, it's not like a magic, but you want to like keep them along for the ride. But at the same time that there are scenes of real drama, of real life. And in our movie right now, it's like you feel the moments between grandmama and mom. Those are two people that haven't talked in 15 years. And, they both have their reasons. In their mind, they're both right, which happens all the time in families.
Yeah.
And so that this teenage girl, their daughter, granddaughter comes through and with just empathy and love is the healing that they needed.
Yeah. Now this is based on Scandinavian folklore, right? And so how is, because the creatures that you kind of see, the images you see, or like if you look at books, it looks a bit different, but how did you guys come to the realization of what her character would look like?
That was, the folklore. They have never had a good PR person. The Kraken has no good PR person. So the opportunity really was for us there is to create a Kraken that was still strong, still powerful, still dangerous, but also beautiful.
Yeah.
Because we wanted Grandma, Mom, and Agatha to be beautiful. And so our art department, our art team really, I think the light went on when they lit her up with a bioluminescence, which is something from sea creatures and stuff, which had that inner light. And so it wasn't just about how appealing it is, which it is, but it's also that story, which is a girl who wished she could be invisible at the start, wished she could hide, is now 300 feet tall and glowing. And she has to learn to shine her light.
Yeah. And one of the other things, it was very like a small moment, but I thought it was really sweet about the parents' relationship, the husband and wife, and they said something like, I love you so much. So talk about their relationship and like the example of their little family.
Yeah, what I love is, Arthur, Coleman Domingo's character, is, you know, he's always like whipping up good food in the kitchen. He's super supportive. And what he knows is that the situation that Ruby and her mom are going through is nothing he has any knowledge of. He can't quite understand what they're going through, but he's still supportive to them and he wants to take care of them. And that I think that the love that Agatha has is that she knows, and she says it, she gave up everything. Like she turned her back on being queen of the ocean to start a real estate company. And, you know, because she loves her family. And I think that's such an important message, you know, like, because we all know that, and that's what I think that other line you were talking to is like, she gave up everything for this fake family, for this fake life. And it's like, we do. The sacrifices you make for the kids, you know, they might not see or might not understand. And so I think that's what, you know, is really important.
So is animation something you've always wanted to do, or your kids were one of the influences? Because you've done, you know, a great background in animation.
Yeah, I've always loved animation. And what I love most of all is like, honestly, really working with this many artists and being able to create original stories. I think that there is enough original stories. I love the discovery of going to a movie theater and seeing original stories and meeting new characters that we haven't met before. It's like meeting new friends, you know? And I think, and an opportunity, one thing animation does still, I think more than ever, is it give that opportunity for, you know, a grandmother who's taking their granddaughter or grandson to a movie theater to have that conversation after what they liked, what they didn't like, what mattered. It still has a great power and great magic to it.
Yeah, and I think nowadays they make animation multi-leveled, right? Multi-generational. Like I got something out of it as a parent, and maybe your child gets something out of it, you know, as a younger. And so I love that about that. Yeah. And so what are you hoping for that age group, like the, you know, the 10, the 8-year-old gets out of it?
Well, I think that the fun, we have a great soundtrack that, you know, with lots of fun summer music, and it's a kickoff of the summer. It's the beginning of the summer. It's something you want to do. It has that adventure. It has that journey. But at the end of the day, it is a coming of age and a story of standing. And there's friendship. That's what I love about it. It's really about friendship too, because her friends group is always with her. So I think that between the friendship and the family themes is something I think that, you know, I want to. And then obviously have a good time and a great big fight at the end and lots of laughs along the way. My wife was looking at our, yesterday, she was here and she was looking through the thing. She's like, Movieguide. She's like, that's the one that we have. And I'm like, oh my gosh, let's go bring it in. And we're here. I'll hold it in there. Sorry. Higher? Yeah, sweet.
That is so fun.
Isn't that great?
I know that you had one for that, but I just didn't.
It's so awesome.
If you enjoy videos that follow your values like ours and you want to help us continue, go to movieguide.org/donate, because we're actually a nonprofit. You may not know that, but we're working in Hollywood every day to help families have more choices that follows their values. And also subscribe right now.